Let's see what we got. Cops realize killer is the one they least expected. Let's see what
So
they're
you
talking
guys
about.
talked today or no?
The last test I got from her was someone's at the door.
This man had just reported his 19-year-old girlfriend, Natalie Bollinger, missing.
19. This nigga look every bit of at least 29, 30.
Moments after she stepped outside to answer a knock at the door and never returned. But just a day into the investigation, the case took a chilling turn.
911.
Hi, this is Gordon with a transfer of a possible DOA at Riverdale Road and Macintosh Farm.
Just as the missing person case had turned into a homicide, investigators found themselves drowning in equally shady suspects and their dark secrets.
Dude, right now, the evidence says that you killed this girl.
No.
I don't know what
See, that sounded like an innocent man. I could tell he was telling the truth.
you think you know, but I put that on my daughter's heartbeat. I don't know any girl that got shot.
I could tell
But
she
what
telling
would
the
truly
truth.
shock them was the least expected killer no one saw coming, with a motive so disturbing they could never have guessed.
Get him down! Get down! Get off! He's trying to get caught.
It better not been
From
her.
the police source.
Hey, so just a little bit ago, my girlfriend got a protection order against this man who's been stalking her for quite some time. And I came home and she's missing, and all of her stuff's here. I don't understand it. It's not like her. She's supposed to be waiting for me.
So I'm assuming that it's him, that it's the
Natalie
boyfriend.
Bollinger.
On December 28th, 2017, around 3 in the afternoon, the Broomfield Police Department in Colorado received a troubling report from a man named Joey Marino that his 19-year-old girlfriend, Natalie Bollinger, was missing from their home. To investigate it further, they reached Joey's home, the very place she was last known to be.
So you guys talked today or no?
Mm-hmm.
On your break?
I have break
that
at
sound too.
9.
9 a.m.?
9 and at 1:30, and we were texting. I could have swore we talked on the phone, but it must have just been a text.
You could have
I've
sworn.
been in contact with her all day
Well, it must have
until
just
the
been a
last
text.
test I got from her was someone's at the door.
Natalie was living with Joey, and on the day of her disappearance, she was home alone, but well connected with her family and Joey on calls. But then, without warning, Natalie stopped responding. Her final text mentioned that someone was at the door, and after that, she was nowhere to be found. This chain of events was already pointing towards some terrifying possibilities, beginning with one question: who was at the door?
Right.
Joey believed it to be Sean Schwartz, a 37-year-old man who was obsessed with Natalie. Immediately after, Natalie's sister Alicia was called to confirm the same.
Damn, Alicia cute.
Hello.
Probably
Hi, is this Alicia?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's David Hyde. I'm a
She
detective at
sound
the
like a
Broomfield
bee.
Police Department. I know it hasn't been that long a time, but have you heard from your sister at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Any thoughts on where she is?
Honestly, I'm really concerned about the person, Sean. I'm so freaked out because, like, she's never done anything like this before, and I think something's wrong here. So I'm gonna go look for her. I don't want to just sit at home and wait.
Just 6 days ago, Natalie had
I
filed a
was about to
restraining
blame
order
sister at first, just how she sounded nonchalant about it, but
against
she in the
Sean,
club, she in the club.
and Alicia's confirmation of Joey's worst fears made it very clear who their primary suspect was. With a sinister figure that Sean seemed
I'm
to
gonna
be,
assume that it's
there
not
were
him.
suspicions whether he abducted Natalie right from her house and kept her hostage. Adam County Sheriff's Office brought Sean in for questioning within 24 hours of her going missing, but it was not going to go as they expected.
So then you go to sleep at the apartment that night? Wake up Thursday morning at the apartment? Okay, let's talk about Thursday. What goes on Thursday?
The same thing. Like I really didn't go anywhere.
Stayed at the apartment all day?
I was there all day.
Okay. So
I haven't left there except to go to the corner store to get stuff.
on Wednesday?
I don't know what days, but everything there might have been a purchase or two I made with cash, but I'm pretty sure all my purchases were made on my debit card.
Did you leave the house at all for the
I
rest
thought he
of
was home.
Wednesday?
It's me.
No, I'm a recluse. I'm scared of people. You guys, not you in specific, but people scare the out of me.
Okay.
For someone who's scared of people, Sean seemed like a pretty terrifying person himself. Natalie had met Sean on the streets while trying to help homeless people. Out of kindness, she shared her social media with him, never realizing it was the onset of an obsession. What he said next in the interrogation room reflected how he had attached his routine to Natalie.
Today, tell me about your day today.
I've been trying to find Natalie all day.
Do you talk to Natalie on a regular basis, or has she talked to you the last couple of days?
I wish, dude, if she talked to me in the last couple of days, she'd be with her family already. I
believe him. I don't think it's him.
I didn't even know she was here. I just wish you didn't have to waste your time on me.
And we're only looking to you for help. That's why we're here, so we don't think you're a waste because you know her.
Thank goodness.
Sean looked genuinely concerned for Natalie, but the friend he was portraying himself to be was sickeningly one-sided. Shortly after meeting Sean, Natalie's life had quickly become content for this deeply disturbed YouTube stalker.
Oh, this nigga's a
My hero hating me. I'm not even worth listening to. Yeah, no, at this point in my life, there is not going to be good coming. I didn't know what I had done wrong to her. I didn't. Moral of the story is, just because it's not your fault doesn't mean it's not your fault. I tried hard to make that work. I tried hard to be a good person, and you know what? It happened, and I wasn't even worth listening to.
While investigations were still digging into Sean's disturbing past, a far darker truth was surfacing miles away. A call from a concerned citizen was about to turn this case from disturbing to deadly.
911.
Hi, this is Gordon with a transfer of a possible DOA at Riverdale Road and McIntosh Farm.
Natalie's dead body was recovered near a property on Riverdale Road, shot dead with a single bullet. Turning a missing persons case into a chilling homicide, investigators had no answers about how she reached there. Was she a hostage? And was Sean even involved?
Nope.
We have talked to him, and again, not ready to call anybody a suspect, but certainly a piece of our investigation, a piece of our timeline.
As the grip around Natalie's case grew, Sean's behavior began to become increasingly disturbing. He started making self-harm claims online. When they took him for a welfare check, he became violent and combative.
So they took me to the hospital. They were telling me that I was on a 72-hour hold because I was... Who the wouldn't be? You guys have been harassing me for a week straight. My best friend is dead. I've been blamed for everything from stalking to murder over this. So when I got out of Boulder County Jail, they painted me as some sort of violent animal on the damn news.
The people closely following Natalie's case were expecting that any day now, Sean would crack and confess. But no one could have predicted what was about to happen next.
With Sean Schwartz, we were 98% sure he had nothing to do with this.
The time frames weren't adding up. Once we got into his cell phone and computer, there was nothing physical evidence-wise that was indicating if he had any involvement.
Sean was still on their radar, but another detail now stood out. From the start, Natalie's boyfriend had been quick to point the finger at Sean, while on body cam, he suggested Natalie might have been suicidal. To investigators, that felt less like concern and more like deflection.
Does Natalie have any mental health issues?
From the go.
She's tried to do it a times.
Okay, so she's sending that text message saying somebody's at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been able to get a hold of her since.
Yeah.
As detectives rewatched the footage, something about Joey's story didn't sit right. He spoke about Natalie's struggles with her mental health, yet he reported her missing after only a few hours, long before most would. The urgency seemed unusual, and it left detectives unsettled.
Back on the day that Natalie went missing, within 3 hours, the family was calling in and reporting her missing. She was a 19-year-old teenager. You wouldn't think someone would be surprised that they're gone for 3 hours during the day.
There was no solid evidence. In most cases, the partner is always the first to come under suspicion. Whether it was a genuine lead or just another trap born from online obsession was unclear, but the truth was about to surface.
Like I said, we have this trust thing. I'm not allowed in her phone.
He was cooperative with us the whole time. Luckily for us that his business had video cameras, so we were able to actually see him working when he said he was working.
His phone's pinging over there. We were able to clear him pretty quick.
You could see that, like, emotionally, he had just lost everything. You know, his significant other, his soon-to-be wife, so to speak, is now dead and been murdered.
He was a victim in this too.
Just when it felt like the case was getting cold, a call came from nearby Avarda, Colorado. Their officer had information that Natalie had been named as a possible witness to a shooting just hours before she was found dead. For the first time in days, there was something to go on. But what everyone didn't know was that this was just the start, and they were nowhere close to the end.
There was a vehicle with a group of people known to one another. One of them ended up feeling disrespected, ended up shooting someone in the back of that vehicle, dumping them out as the vehicle drove away. It was very clear from some of the witnesses that a very caring person in the vehicle in this shooting had stuck their head out and was looking back to see if this person was okay. And the description fit Natalie to a T.
Yeah.
So we had shown pictures of Natalie to a witness to it, and they were like, oh yeah, that was her, she was there.
AI is transforming customer service, and the leader is Finn. We win in all the benchmarks and the bake-offs.
Police questioned Markle, the driver of the car involved in the shooting, and brought in his girlfriend, Jackie, too. Both had been in the car that night. As the detectives pressed them for answers, the truth began to unravel. Under the weight of questioning, Markle finally broke, admitting that he was the one who pulled the trigger, killing the man in the car. Jackie confirmed his story word for word. Everything was falling into place. But when Natalie's name came up, they claimed they didn't know her, never met her.
You don't know who that is? No. Do you guys have a picture? Yeah, I don't know.
Shit goes down. You're getting out of there. I hit Riverdale. You hit Riverdale? What happens then, bro? I probably came back because I remember driving right by here. Well, that road goes down to the dairy, the McIntosh dairy, so we know more happened down there.
There is another woman that was shot off of Riverdale. I want you to finally come clean with what you saw.
I don't know what you think you know, but I put that on my daughter's heartbeat. I don't know any girl that got shot.
You were there Thursday night, Friday morning, midday, Friday?
We'll find the body. No. I don't know who that is.
Then was her body where you said you turned around and she's been positively ID'd as being in your car?
Sir, I'm not lying to you.
I just want to figure this out because this girl's got a family.
I'm not gonna.
Who's trying to figure out what happened to their family member. Dude, right now, the evidence says that you killed this girl.
Police had 2 people involved in the shooting, and allegedly Natalie had witnessed it. If she was trying to speak up, it may have made her a threat. Investigators believed they were close to solving the case. Everything seemed to line up, but just as quickly as the lead appeared, it fell apart.
Is Ebony okay?
I don't know who that is.
The girl who was thought to be Natalie was never Natalie. It was a mix-up. That girl in the car was actually Ebony Chavez, a close friend of the couple. Detectives first got her name through Jackie while interrogating. When they cross-verified with photos, Ebony and Natalie looked strikingly alike. Investigators tracked her down and brought her in for questioning.
How can I get a hold of Ebony? Call your mom?
Investigators tracked her down and brought her in for questioning.
We looked into it more and found Miss Chavez looked just like Natalie. Very, very similar features, very similar height.
You say your first and last name and spell it.
Ultimately, Miss Chavez, she was the one that had stuck her head out and was looking at this person and had nothing whatsoever to do with this case.
It's almost like a mistaken identity kind of led them to think that they were helping us out. Ultimately, it had nothing to do with our case, but we ended up helping them with theirs. In the end, we're like, here you go, Arvada, we just solved your case for you. And they're like, cool, thanks, we're out. You know?
Yeah.
And then we were back to square one again.
It's devastating.
Just like that, detectives found themselves right back where they started. Then, on January 17th, 2018, came the phone records, and they gave investigators everything they'd been hoping for. Texts, calls, and location data began to fill in the blanks. Detectives never imagined that a suspect completely off the radar would emerge, and his entry would pull the investigation into unsettling new depths.
It wasn't the boyfriend.
She was communicating with a phone number that was not listed on any of her contacts. There was 111 text messages back and forth between them that started up about 5 o'clock in the morning on the day she went missing until right around noon. And then there was just absolutely zero communication after that.
The number led them to 22-year-old Joseph Lopez. This wasn't just another lead. It was the first time the pieces actually started to fit.
He was just such a meek, kind of nerdy person.
No criminal history. He had a seatbelt ticket. Yeah. That was all he had.
He worked at Domino's Pizza, and he had called in sick for like 2 or 3 straight days after Natalie's death.
Which his manager said was very, unusual for him.
On February the 8th, 2018, police called Joseph Lopez for questioning. What unfolded in that interrogation room flipped the entire case.
List here, Bill. You know what I mean? So, and unfortunately, your number was there. So that's why we had to come in and talk to you. You're free to leave at any time. You know that, right?
Yes. What I'm thinking this is all about is someone I was talking to over on Craigslist. I was just on there, looking for pen pals.
Joseph mentioned that they'd met through Craigslist, but this wasn't a casual online meet. It was through an ad that Natalie posted at 6:25 a.m. on December 28th, the very day she went missing. What he was about to reveal would take the case into unthinkable territory.
And who would that be?
I don't know her name. I never asked. But what drew me to what she had posted was it was very weird.
Do you recall kind of what that said that got your attention?
Well, the title itself just said, I'm thinking about putting a hit on myself.
A case they thought was closing in one direction had just taken a turn no one was prepared for. He claimed Natalie had ordered the hit on herself.
That's
so
crazy.
My first thought was, okay, well, someone obviously needs help and hasn't been getting the help that they need. I suffer from depression, and I've tried to kill myself a few times, and I ended up in mental hospital because of it. And
wow,
being the type of person that I am, I will do anything to help someone at least stay alive. My first thought was, I really want to help this girl.
He described himself as a caring person, the kind who steps in when someone's in trouble. Up until now, he insisted he only wanted to help her. And if his knight in shining armor story's true, then what happened that left Natalie dead? Just within minutes, his words would take a disturbing turn that detectives were not expecting. What came next would become the darkest, most twisted chapter of this case that no one was ready for.
I convinced her to, meet up with me. So I went to her place and I picked her up and we went for a drive. And during that drive, I wanted to learn what was going on and what was going on with her life and why she was so depressed and sad. And she's just real quiet and timid, and I don't want to, force her to talk too much because, then it kind of gives away what I'm actually trying to do,
What did she think you were there for?
She thought I was responding to the ad.
In what way?
She thought I was going to be the one to do it.
To take her out?
He told detectives he'd asked her to meet up on the very morning Natalie went missing, admitting he saw her the day she vanished, yet denying any role in her death only deepened the mystery. His story was already confusing, and now detectives knew it was time to turn up the heat. From this point on, the interrogation would spiral into deeply disturbing territory, revealing details detectives could never...
Or maybe her boyfriend, the one who made the ad on Craigslist, and then he responded to her. Well, nah, he said when he picked her up, she went to run and everything. So, nah, that don't sound.
...or have imagined.
How long were you guys communicating on Craigslist?
I know it was really early in the morning.
That same day?
Yeah.
So you have no contact with her before? This was just, and it just kind of went?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So during that whole time talking, did she ever tell you her name or anything?
I never asked.
Because she thinks you're legit, because you're feeding into it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how you're feeding into it.
So, I mainly asked her what her plan would be, and how she wanted it to go.
And what is she saying when you say, how do you want to do it?
That's when she tells me that she was thinking about just doing it execution style. You know, she doesn't want to see it.
What he was saying sounded like something out of a horror story, but this was no fiction. It was real, driven by an obsession with role-playing and twisted fantasies. And the deeper he went, the darker it became. At the heart of it all was his disturbing motive, one that would blur the line between fantasy and murder.
Do you own any guns?
No.
Okay. So then you let her know that, and then she says, I have a gun? It's like...
Well, I told her that that I wouldn't be able to get one anytime soon, and that's when she brought it up.
Okay. She said she had one?
Mm-hmm. She starts asking about, like, how much it would cost, you know? So, you know, I went along with the role because I'm a very avid...
What does that mean, went along with the role?
I'm a very avid role player online.
How do you go about taking the persona of a hitman, though? How do you take that role on?
It really fascinates me as a writer.
Yeah.
I have a character that's for the horror genre. His name is Aki. He's also just a psycho. He'll lure you in, and that's...
Bam.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was basically like a journal entry, like Dear Diary. I've been stalking this person for this long, and these are what my plans for that person is. It was like kidnapping and then eventually, you know, murder after torture, just because this person was supposed to be extremely psychotic.
The way Joseph lit up when describing his real psycho roleplay character was disturbing. What Natalie
sound like he do these stories and shit, and he wanted to act it out.
Didn't know was that this wasn't new for him. Joseph had always carried this fantasy. Now that detectives had a clearer grasp of his mindset, they steered the conversation back to the day of the murder. He still hadn't confessed, and they needed to figure out if he was telling the truth or crafting another story.
2.5, 3 hours-ish.
Okay, so you guys are cruising around for a good bit amount of time.
Good bit amount of time.
Did you take the highway the same way to get her back home?
No, I used a GPS to take side roads back up, and then I just went to work.
You never went down Riverdale or anything like that? You just shot straight up?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Joseph was getting lost in his own story, and with every new detail, the cracks started to show. He was getting tangled in his own lies. He was about to learn the hard way. No lie stays buried forever.
So, you had your phone with you the whole time, right?
Yes.
Nobody ever used your phone?
No.
Just you, right?
Just me.
Okay. We have mapped out basically right here what he's holding right there. I'll show you.
The GPS coordinates show him leaving his house. It pings right up to Natalie's apartment. It drives around. And then eventually, within, I believe, 5 yards of accuracy, he's at the murder scene.
So your phone's going and pinging off these towers. It shows us that you went to 116th and Riverdale.
I want to tell you, she was found at 116th and Riverdale in that area.
It took hours of questioning, but detectives could sense he was close to admitting what happened. And at that moment, detectives will realize the truth was far more disturbing than anyone imagined.
He said, hold on, let me get on the floor.
She told me to pull over and she didn't shoot herself.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I freaked out.
So obviously we're going to want to talk now about how it really went, okay?
And so we did drive around for a little bit. You know, she was looking for places to do it. You know, for me, the killer, she just gets out of my car and I get out and I start talking to her. But she's over by the tree.
I want you to get down and actually show me, bro. Because I was not there. You were the only one that was there.
So she's like this a little bit while I'm trying to talk to her. I'm not too far from her.
See how misleading clips could be if
maybe
you
like
the whole
this.
time?
Pretty close to her. I'm just trying to talk her out of it. And she shoots herself before I can try to reach and grab the gun.
You say the gun was like this? Or how?
She just sat down and she put it like this. Then she fired.
The world is focused on the possibilities of AI, but what do you need to focus on? Your data.
The coroners told us that it wasn't a contact wound. She couldn't have shot herself. And we're like, you said you watched the first 48 hours all the time. I said, so you know if we're asking questions, we already know the answer. Now Tashi shows the gun is at least 3 feet away. So we know that didn't happen. But she didn't shoot herself. Did she give you the gun when you guys were kneeling down?
Let it out, bro.
You gotta get off your chest.
Get it out. Get it out.
She asked you to do it? Or what'd she say, man?
She was begging.
for you to do it.
Where's the gun?
It's outside.
Is it in your car?
It's in my trunk.
Her purse and everything there too.
Her bag's still there, yeah. Eventually, I just, I didn't want it to affect me anymore, so I decided just to forget about it.
Joseph said Natalie was going to shoot herself, and when he couldn't convince her to stop, he pulled the trigger instead. After his statement, detectives placed him under arrest and took him into custody. From that moment until the very end of the investigation, he never wavered from his claim that Natalie had wanted it all along.
Peterson let me know that they had caught the person responsible for this, and he got real serious, and he said, do you think that she would have posted an ad or something along those lines? So I just was kind of like, maybe.
The post was up for just 2 minutes before it was flagged and taken down, but in those 2 minutes, a match was made between one person who wanted to die and another who had always wanted to kill.
There was no questioning of why do you want to do this or what's going on. Instantly it was, oh yeah, I'm a hitman, I do this is my price, this is what I normally charge. And it was clearly kind of a fantasy in that journal that he had ever since he was in high school.
On February 9th, 2018, Joseph Lopez was charged with second-degree murder, a charge he later pleaded guilty to. On October 2nd, 2019, he was sentenced to 48 years in prison. Natalie Bollinger had been struggling long before her name made headlines. Her mother had left her when she was young, her relationship with her father was strained, and she eventually went to live with her grandparents, seeking stability. But when her grandfather died, that small sense of safety crumbled. She battled mental health issues quietly, carrying pain most never saw.
Damn, so she really did put a hit out on herself. You ain't never heard of no shit like that. Damn, that's crazy. Sheesh. Well, I ain't got nothing to say about it. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Let's talk about it.
Do it for the bar, just do it for the bar.